Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's analysis. As for today, we are going to discuss about Jesse, the main antagonist in My Babysitter is a Vampire franchise. A centuries-old vampire who pretends to be a student who seeks to resurrect his ancient army. Jesse, pretty much, well, he's your average vampire antagonist, at least to a certain degree. And in this episode, we are going to discuss all that we know about him throughout the movie and the TV series to understand Jesse and how and why he is a vampire. And now, let's begin. Much about Jesse's past is largely unknown. All we know about him is the fact that his real name is Horace Black, and he and his vampire clan have founded a town back in 1809, known back then as Black's Church, and he and his fellow flock have terrorized the townsfolk and killed and eaten them, and resulting in the townsfolk burning his army alive, except for him. And so, Horace managed to escape from the town and swore vengeance for what they did, and the town itself renamed itself as Whitechapel. And now, 200 years later, by 2010, Horace came back for his vengeance, as he pretends now to be a student named Jesse at high school, and he turned many teenagers into vampires in order to resurrect his army, including a teenage girlfriend that he had known as Sarah Fox, which he really didn't want to be a vampire and vowed to stop him. And he eventually turned many of her friends like Erika and Benny into vampires as well. All of this in order to lure all the people that are going to the Dusk Tree premiere in order to drain their souls so he can use them to resurrect his army. But sadly, for him, he has come into conflict with Sarah as well as her new friends, Ethan and Benny, who all came together in order to oppose him. And now before we continue, we need to stop and ask ourselves, is Jesse evil? And I ask this question is because of the fact that while he seems like an unredeemable monster, has no problem to kill innocent people, turn other people into vampires, or doing who knows what, he is not necessarily an unredeemable man. He's not 100% unredeemable, in the sense that he did care for his flock, and he does everything he does to bring them back. And while it could be argued that he's mostly self-serving, as he doesn't try that again after he's resurrected, still the gesture is pretty nice to begin with. And as the answer is still pretty much yes, JC is evil, but he's not necessarily 100% unredeemable, and his plan has ultimately failed as Ethan, Benny and Sarah defeated him and trapped him into the Kubilianiums, and on the same place where he put all the souls of these innocent victims in. But sadly, this is not the last time we'll see of Jesse, as months later now by 2011, Jesse got freed by accident from the Kubilianimus, as Ethan and Benny needed to save Sarah, and he came back to try to convince Sarah to join him one last time, and even try to turn Ethan into a vampire, and as a trap, for Sarah to drain his blood, which succeeded and caused Sarah to become an our full-fledged vampire. But Jesse left the town again, and he wasn't seen again until by 2012 as a new threat has arisen, and that being Vice Principal Stan, the grandson of an old wizard who wanted now who now wants to gain the Lucifractor, an orb of dark energy so he can use to destroy the vampires and take over Whitechapel. All of this in order to avenge his grandpa. And Jesse has reluctantly teamed up with Sarah, Ethan and Benny in order to take him down, and so the final confrontation arrived, and judging by the explosion at the end, it's a no if he also survived or died. So who knows? So in the end, who was or who is Jesse? He is nothing more but a diabolical vampire who only wanted vengeance upon the people that despite he was the one who wronged to them, yet the people also wronged him back. A monster that will do anything and sacrifice pretty much anybody to achieve his goals, and a monster that could be called as one of the best villains ever made into a Disney sitcom. Thanks for watching, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Don't they look delicious?
You can't not them. I know these kids. I'm babysitting them.
Well, I'm sorry, but wait. You still need a babysitter?
No. He needs a babysitter.